Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. Join once again in my Mark 7 Golf R to talk a little bit around, well, the cost of and the prices of some hot hatches these days, and a little bit around actually the Ford Fiesta ST, the blue edition that I spoke about in a previous video. So yeah, I'll get straight into this one. So yes, you join me once again in my Mark 7 Golf R. Thank you so much for the support recently as well, it's been fantastic. And this video is kind of on a little bit, I'm going to talk a little bit around the Mark 8 Fiesta ST Blue Edition, costing £27,000. Click on the link just above there. I've spoken a little bit about that car. And well, for reference, I love my hot hatches. That's one thing I really want to say. I love all cars, to be honest. I'm just a passionate car guy. And what I think hot hatches represent is something that you can use every day. They're very fun. They're a bit of the underdog cars, and they just put a huge smile on your face, which is fantastic. I've also done a video at the weekend which was on the Mark 8 Golf R and was on around the price of that, and how, well, you could spec it up to about £50,000, which is crazy. For a daily hot hatch, I think it's an incredible amount of money to spend on a car. But as like a car enthusiast and a passionate kind of guy, as I'm sure you're well aware, or you're not aware if you're new to the channel, or yeah, you're just watching this for the first time, the cost is such an important thing for me, because I think making things more attainable and more accessible for more people is great. That's my key things. It makes other people happy. It makes me happy. You know, I look around and I see people drive around in some cracking hot hatches, and it puts a massive smile on my face. And I hope, you know, I hope this video and the videos I do also make you lot happy as well, as like people interested in cars and stuff. And the Ford Fiesta ST is one thing that I really want to talk about, because it's great in so many ways. In the UK, they've sold so many Fiestas, be it the Mark 7, the previous generation, which was ridiculous in terms of how many they sold, or the Mark 8, which is, you know, it's one of the best-selling cars in the UK in 2020, and yeah, since it came out. And that's generally because of its price, what it offers, and yeah, it's kind of everything you need. Particularly as cars get a little bit bigger, even the smaller cars are actually quite big, so it can kind of be your only car that you need. Now, the ST's always been that sort of fun, quirky car. And yeah, the Mark 8 ST was something I was looking at a couple of years ago. And yeah, I sort of stopped short. Just, I know you can get discounts, and Fords do fantastic deals. I'm 100% sure and aware of that. But ultimately, the initial RRP is quite high, which is a shame. And this particular car is £27,000. It's just so much money, isn't it? Fundamentally, it is the same as a normal, well-spec'd Fiesta ST Mark 8, but it's got like different suspension, very sophisticated suspension, which is exactly the same as what you get in the Performance Edition, the orange one from the previous year, which you could probably pick up now for not £27,000, probably more £20,000. And it just puts it in a price range where if I was in my early 20s and looking to get myself into a really cool hot hatch, and, you know, being a fast Ford fan, that's where I'd look. I'd just be like, I know times have changed in, you know, 7 years ago when I bought my Fiesta ST, the Mark 7 in 2013, but it's just, it is really out of reach, particularly as a car that is, you know, it is a Fiesta, it's based on a Fiesta. And I love that about it, because you know, parts are so accessible. You can have it for such a long time. It's not even necessarily that showy either. You know, you see them all on the road. You know, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But we are just getting to a stage where it's like, it's so challenging with costs. It's almost like now that electric has kind of taken the forefront for manufacturers, they've sort of said, well, you know what? If car enthusiasts want these nice cars, the Golf Rs, the A45Ss, the RS3s, the you know, whatever, M2 competitions, Fiesta STs, Focus STs, or whatever, Golf GTIs, you know, I can go on and on. They're going to have to pay through the nose for it. And what they'll do is they'll sell less, but they'll still make decent money. So their strategy is kind of good, but by selling less, it means that obviously it's less for everyone to experience. That's the thing. Golf R was a big success because they did loads of lease deals in the UK. Loads of people were able to get it. Fantastic. More people can enjoy it. And yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. And it's just really, really hard. You know, I'm sitting here as a person who, I've just loved my cars. I've used it as a sort of way of sort of saying, well, you know what, if I get through my university degree, I'll go and get this. And I did. You know, if I get through, you know, another couple of years of working, you know, I'll go and get this. But now I'm sort of like at a stage where it's like, we're in a state where you're not even technically allowed to go out. It's against the law to go out for a drive, just to go for a drive, which is crazy. I read something about how your insurance could technically fight against any sort of claim if you were just to go out for a drive and have a crash, because it's against the law. And it is really, really stuff which just makes it so hard. And the cost of obviously all these cars is making it so difficult. You know, the days where I just went out in my Fiesta ST just to go for a fun drive, which was great, and I'm so glad I got to experience that. Same with the Golf R, are coming to an end. They just are. You know, there's a lot more people on the road, particularly in the UK. You know, there's just more people, and yeah, it makes it very hard to justify having paying out that sort of expense. So where's this video kind of getting to? Well, I actually want to get your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? You know, whoever you are, if you're, you know, I know obviously a lot of my subscribers on this channel, but I know a lot of people watch this who aren't subscribed or whatever. But let me know your thoughts of what's kind of happening in the world, because it's a huge change, and it's a big shame for someone who, you know, it's a disappointing thing that cars cost so much money, because, you know, I don't necessarily buy it to show off or to do anything like that. That's just not who I am. I do it for your own personal little enjoyment, and you can have enjoyment on the roads within the limits, and that's why hot hatches are so great. But you know, nearly £30,000 for a Ford Fiesta. It's such a shame, because that blue edition looks really cool, and I'm sure that suspension is brilliant, and I'm sure it's a great car. This is the thing, and it really could step on the toes. You know, imagine having fun on the back road around that, and like, you know, maybe finding someone else who's in like a much more expensive car, a hired German rival or something. If you're having a whale of a time, it'd be brilliant. But at 27 grand, it's really, really hard for, yeah, the target audience of that car. And in a day where we are unfortunately sort of heading into like recession type times, you know, look at the state of what we are in. It's not particularly the best time. So it's a kick in the teeth, I think, a little bit more for people who are just, you know, like driving cars, you know, not people who want to make a profit off cars or want to, well, you've all got your own thing, you know, if you want to just show off and say, you know, my car's got 50 brake horsepower more than yours, so it's better. It's all each their own. I've gone through quite a few comments actually from the video that's done quite well on my channel about the Golf R and how it's the Mark 8 Golf R costs 49 grand, and some comments have been brilliant. I do read them all, and they've been really like how they enjoy their cars. Yeah, each to their own. But I'm certainly sitting here a little bit worried, and sort of going into 2021, I'm sort of very much on the edge of kind of like, well, you know what, Sam, you've had such a great time. Sort of, I've had it would have been 8 years of a Fiesta ST and a Golf R. Is it time to sort of say, well, it's very hard to justify. Very hard to justify, particularly if you're working from home quite a lot. It's very hard to justify if you're not allowed to go out just for a drive because you're constantly getting put in lockdown. Stuff like that does make it very, very difficult. And it's like, it certainly doesn't encourage me to go ahead and spend money that I've worked very, very hard for on something like a Golf R or even something like a Fiesta ST, which they're high value items. And I know people get there on finance and lease and all these kind of things, but it's just like saying, you know, if you get a £1 million house and you put down 20%, so 200 grand, you're still owing 800 grand to someone. It's the same with finance. You put 2, 3, 4 grand down or whatever, and you're paying a few £100 a month. You're still owing the next sort of 25, 30 grand to someone. And that's a big amount of money. Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, you know, I hope to have a family and stuff like that in the future. But, you know, I could look my kid in the eye if it's like, oh yeah, I've got my Mark 8 Golf R, but yeah, if you want that, yeah, that new toy, you can't have that because I'm still paying off the finance repayments. So it just makes me laugh. And it also makes me quite sad because I just think, yeah, growing up as a kid and admiring cars and, you know, that kind of thing, I always will, and I always still have my passion for cars, But I think the reality of actually sitting in and owning something that's a little bit more special than just a Bogo car is just becoming really, really difficult. And even for hot hatches, who would have thought that? Hot hatches are supposed to be the quintessential part of what car enthusiasts love and what I love. Anyway, I've rambled on a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in your comments. Am I just talking absolute rubbish? Or has it got legs? Are manufacturers kind of saying, we're going to charge you loads for having these cars because we know the time's ticking, and, you know, if you want it, you'll pay for it. If you don't want it, it doesn't bother us. We're focusing on other things. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments of that. I'm a bit, you know, particularly with the Fiesta, I mean, come on, £27,000, give me a break. Charge less for something like that. It's a great car. It's got the best suspension. It's got really good reviews. So it's like, yeah, strange, bizarre, disappointing. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if there's any light at the end of the tunnel for someone like me, or for other people who are passionate about cars and just enjoy them within the limits. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. But thanks so much for watching. I will leave a link actually in the description of this video. Thank you for getting this far into the video if you're still watching. And it was from something I watched over the weekend from Chris Harris. And he's done a couple of videos actually with a couple of other YouTubers. And yeah, just listening to him, it's just a bit of a podcast thing. Stick it in your ear, basically. You don't really need to watch anything. It goes on for like an hour. And but yeah, check that out. That might be the reason why I've kind of done this video. It certainly pushed me over the edge of what I'm kind of am feeling. And I'm sharing my thoughts with you as always. But thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, fantastic rest of your week. And yeah, stay positive. I'll still enjoy cars, even if I'm enjoying it from afar. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.